同學，今次我們將會學習 Reading, Prose or Poetry in Exam Questions Part 1 Concept Reading, Prose or Poetry in Exam Questions Part 1今課我們專注於2012至2015年香港中學文憑考試閱讀文章 Reading 不同長度和難度水平的書面文章2015年閱讀文章都較往年更加困難Part A consisted of 2 passages, and it was the first time in HKDSE. 2015 Reading Passage Part A, Test 1 In from the Cold Among Warm-Hearted Koreans. This is an adapted version of an article in the SEMP on Korean entertainment culture. Test 1 is really quite difficult for Part A, but candidates should be familiar with this test type. Interview transcript. The interview structure may make it more readable and it's also easy to search through. Reading passage. Test 2. Tutor's book covers Impossible, Korea. This is an adapted version of an article in the Wall Street Journal. Part B1. Reading passage. Test 3. Witness statement. This is a sample witness statement taken from an Australian website which provides legal advice. It's a rather straightforward narrative. Reading passage. Test 4. Will cars with low drivers catch on? This is an adapted version of an article in the Washington Post. Test 4 is noticeably harder than the second test last year, as it is about 2 sides of arguments on adopting self-driving cars. Reading passage. Test 5. Young minds in critical condition. This is lifted from an article in the opinion pages of the New York Times. The second comment Lawless is also taken from the New York Times. The topic is likely to be highly foreign to most candidates. Candidates are unlikely to have read about the study of liberal arts in any depth, partly because it is not a popular university subject in Hong Kong. The level of critical analysis done at university level may also be unfamiliar to many candidates. The test opens with little indication of what is to come in the following paragraphs. Candidates will need to read to the third or fourth paragraph before getting a full picture of what the passage is about. Test 5. Young minds in critical condition. This is lifted from an article in the opinion pages of the New York Times. Questions asking about the implied meanings in the title are new in this year's exam. 2015 News questions. In both B1 and B2, answers requiring justification reasoning are required. Part B1. There's a real justification question in Part B1, as this has not been seen before. Q39. Q53 is a real identification question and selection of difficulties worth 4 marks. Part B2. Q76 is a real justification question worth 4 marks. Challenging vocabulary. A few Korean terms are introduced in paragraph 4. This paragraph is particularly challenging to get to grip with, as the Korean verbs relate to culture and national character archetypes. 3個韓國字涉及到文化和民族性格原型。Jan, the invisible hut. Han is a burden you cannot correct. Han, Hung, the pure joy. Candidates may be confused by the ideas, and it may require 2 to 3 times of reading to understand. The advanced vocabulary used in Part A when answering questions. Stoicism, 禁欲主義 Inscrutable, 高深莫測 Raucous, 喧鬧 They will do Part B too. Do you think you find these words easy to understand when you meet them in the Test 5? Young minds in critical condition. Triumphantly, 得意地 Depraved, 頹廢 Cynicism, 玩世不恭 Cruel, 氣足 Openship, 勝人一籌 Debunkers, 揭穿真面目 Prowess, 實力 Exuberant, 旺盛 Undermine, 破壞 Criticizing, 盲目迷戀 Fracture, 斷裂 Receptive, 容易接受 Pander, 逢迎 Interpreting the writer's tone, feeling and attitude. HKDSE 2015, Paper 1 Part B Q56. Q56. Why does Michael Roth try not to sound too weary? Lines 3-4. When he replies to his students? Choice A. The students are not self-reliant. Choice B, the students have low imagination. Choice C, thinks the writers are not interesting. Choice D is a reply to these comments many times before. One candidate selected choice A. This candidate got the wrong understanding of the writer's attitude. The first paragraph implies that the writer has already mentioned to students about the philosopher's implications many times before. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is choice D. He has replied to these comments many times before. Reference question. Some reference questions require you to find out the lines to which both lines refer. Passage. Mr. Brown was never boring. He encouraged us to aspire to things we possibly hadn't thought of doing. He seldom used textbooks in English lessons, but chatted about his travels, wife, football, study skills, and other subjects in which we are interested. Question. What does that refer to in line 33? Answer. Students of Mr. Brown. Task. HKDSE 2015 Q4. Who does that refer to in line 9? Q4. Very tricky reference question. 非常拿手的引用問題. They here refers directly to nobody else, but that clearly isn't an acceptable answer. Candidates need to understand that what Daniel is reading talking about is other writers. Also, the direct speech in the preceding line is in the present continuous tense, whereas the question that includes the reference word is in the past tense. They make even tougher for candidates who don't immediately get the reference and have tried to work out the answer linguistically. 其他常見的閱讀問題 Other common reading questions. Number 1. Regarding a text or close summary. 重新起草文本或填空摘要. Number 2. Short response. Meanings of idioms and expressions. 短回應成語和短語的含義. Number 3. Timeline. Chronological order of events. 時間軸、時間順序排列. Number 4. Tables, map completion. 完成表、圖. Number 5. Extended response. Literal meaning plus figurative. Metaphorical meaning. 擴展響應字面意思，加喻、隱喻意義. Number 6. Extended response. Inference, implications, and justification. 推斷、含義和理由. Number 7. Attributing speech acts to characters. Relating evidence to conclusion plus supporting quotes from the text. 將對話言語行為配有關證據的結論，加從文引述支持證據. Q74. In the title, Young Minds in Critical Condition, what two implications does critical have in this context? 2 marks. Answer. Implies that young people have an urgent condition to deal with. That is, obsession with disbelief and cynicism. Implies that the critical skills of young people is failing, and students only limit themselves to learning how to be critical. 32% of the candidates score 1 mark. 10% of the candidates score 2 marks. Q76. What is Tom Stan's liberal education? Summarize his opinion in your own words. 4 marks. Answer. He opposes liberal education. He thinks it is too expensive, and there is no prospect for a job. He thinks there is no need to get liberal education, as it can be learned from the local library, and it is just for the American higher education reform machine. 62% of the candidates score 1 mark. 51% of the candidates score 2 marks. 32% of the candidates score 3 marks. 12% of the candidates score 4 marks. Let us summarize the trends of these 4 years of question types. Part A. Question type. Question number in 2015, HKDSE. Number of questions in 2015, 2014, 2013, 2012. Question type. Multiple choice. Short response. Matching subheadings, main points of paragraphs. True, false, not given. Labeling pictures. Close summary. Extended response. Matching sentences to speakers. Ordering events. Table completion. Sentence completion. Question type. Multiple choice. Question number in 2015 HKDSE Q5. Number of questions in 2015 1 questions. 2014 6 questions. 2013 7 questions. 2012 6 questions, and so on for the remaining of the table. Note in the changes of the trends of the questions. In Part A, 5 UMC questions were found. In this year, 2015, there were 10 questions on extended responses, including why questions. Part B1, question type. Question number in 2015 HKDSE. Number of questions in 2015, 2014, 2013, 2012. Question type. Thematic, main idea, specific facts, inference, vocabulary, reference, inference, figurative language, views justification, sequencing, high-order thinking, extended response. Question type, thematic. Question number in 2015, HKDSE, Q40. Number of questions in 2015, 1 question. 2014, 1 question. 2015, no question. 2012, 1 question, and so on for remaining of the table. B1, question type. Question number in 2015. Number of questions in 2015, 2014, 2013, 2012. Question type, multiple choice, short response, matching subheadings, main points to paragraphs, true, false, not given, neighboring pictures, close summary. Question type, multiple choice. Question number in 2015, Q38, Q40, Q47, Q51, Q52, Q55. Number of questions in 2015, 6 questions. Number of questions in 2014, 5 questions. Number of questions in 2013, 2 questions. Number of questions in 2012, 5 questions, and so on for the remaining of the table. B2, question type. Question number in 2015. Number of questions in 2015, 2014, 2013, 2012. Question type, thematic, main idea, specific factual, inference, vocabulary, reference, figurative language, views justification, multiple choice, short response, true, false, not given, close summary, extended response, matching sentences to speakers, pool reading. Question type, thematic. Question number in 2015, Q74, Q75. Number of questions in 2015, 2 questions. 2014, no question. 2013, no question. 2015, no question, and so on for the remaining of the table. In Part B2, questions on understanding the main theme of the article and liberal education were challenging. The 3 questions in the vocabulary require higher order reading skills. The 6 inference questions were also quite difficult compared with earlier B2 papers. Q76, 77 require clues to support the answers. In this year, pool reading have been tested for the first time. 在這一年校對問題第一次出現。Now try to read the questions and pool read the answers. Paragraph 8. Liberal education in America has not been characterized by the intertwining of two traditions, but critical inquiry in pursuit of truth, exuberance performance in pursuit of excellence. In the last half century, though emphasis on inquiry has become dominant, and it has often been reduced to the ability to expose error, undermine belief, the inquirer has taken the guise of a sophisticated and often ironic spectator, rather than massive participant in continuing experiments, or even the reverent beholder of great cultural achievements. Q64. Below your summary, paragraph 8. In 3 of the lines, there is one mistake. You'll find a mistake, underline the mistake, and replace the word with one that expresses the correct idea. Write the word in the space on the right. If there is no mistake, put a tick in the space. The first has been done for you. 4 marks. Summary. Correction. Example. There are 3 traditions in liberal education in America. 3 is incorrect. Correction. True. One pursues truth, the other pursues exuberance. Since the 1960s, there has been less emphasis on the former, which now is synonymous with fault-finding and challenging beliefs. Rather than being a participant, there's a preference to be a competitor. Let's see the answer to Q64. Summary. Correction. One pursues truth, the other pursues exuberance. Exuberance is incorrect. Correction. Excellence. Since the 1960s, there has been less emphasis on the former. Less is incorrect. Correction. More. Greater. Which now is synonymous with fault-finding and challenging beliefs. Correct. Rather than being a participant, there's a preference to be a competitor. Competitor is incorrect. correction, spectator, beholder. Now, do the exercise to test yourself by exercise and answers. Complete the following and ask your tutor to mark the answer for you. Read 2015 Paper 1 Part B1. The problems of self-driving cars again.